Hello, hello. This is the PWA office coming at you again for You Love It, You Want It, another 10-minute meeting. So we have some microphones on a fist because that's Jared. And Katie showed up as a toxic administrator because that's the vibe that we're feeling today. So we're just going to go over some information, kind of talk about what you all are seeing in your sites and trying to give you some little bit of help. So I'm going to kind of place this fist here per se. But I'm going to do a pitch real quick for the fans. So every year we do this for you. I don't know if it's the weather, if it's the hormones, what you need a fan for, but we got them. So make sure that you reach out to the PWA office if you want to utilize these as like a giveaway at your site, or if you want one for yourself or your colleagues, reach out to us and let us know. Even comes out this year with a cute little sticker. Jared, what's it say?
It says, I'm a fan of PWEA.
He loves it too.
I love corny stuff.
All right. So we're going to go over union representative rights. As representatives of PWA, you did the training, you were voted on by your colleagues at your site. And within that, you are provided rights that are guaranteed by the contract. You do not require an invitation from administration. You do not require acknowledgement by administration. You are a union representative, and that is determined by your union.
We acknowledge one another in this union.
Right. So it does not matter if your school administrator is not acknowledging you at this time. That means that the school division is actively working in union busting. We know it. We've seen it for a while now. And what we're going to do is just keep our head to the ground and do the work that we are doing and that we've done. And that is build our power through our members, because that's who determines who our leaders are, not administrators. So although we live in Virginia and we are in the South and we are teaching Virginia as we go what unions mean, and that means that we are all colleagues of each other, ensuring that just both parties acknowledge the contract that was negotiated at the table twice, because we won some charges. So there's that. So with that said, we're going to talk about your rights. So this is at the beginning of the contract. And I'm going to kind of share your rights with you. And then we're kind of feeling artsy here at the office. So we're going to stage some acting, right? And let you guys know maybe a good way to do it, maybe a not so good way to do it. But either way, it's going to get done, right? So hopefully we do this the good way, though, right? So learn through us, okay? So as a union rep, as a PWA rep, you have the right to do union work during your work day. You're not going to stop work from happening. So an example of union work during the work day, do you guys want to do an example, like a good one?
Yeah.
Let's say that you
hold on, Jared. I have a concern.
Yeah.
I saw you talking to colleagues in the hallway about some PWA business. I don't think that that's okay.
Oh, I mean, I understand the confusion. If you like, I'm more than happy to go over the contract language that pertains to that. So some things did change, as you know, on July 1st when the new CBA went into effect. According to the new contract, if you look at section 3.2, which can be found on page 5 of the collective bargaining agreement, it actually says that we can conduct business on school property at all reasonable times, and anything that is not interrupting the ability of employees to do business would be considered reasonable times, as was discussed at the table.
Can I see that paper?
Absolutely.
Well, they never showed us the actual paper in my training, but you're right.
All right.
Well,
my mind.
Yep. So doing union business during the workday, talking to your colleagues, putting things in mailboxes, sending emails, having a quick one-on-one with someone, anything that doesn't impede the school day is you're able to do. Something that could be an example of impeding the school day is if you're in a staff meeting and you all of a sudden just like interrupt and you demand the floor, right? None of us would do that. That's completely absurd, but that is a way where disruption would be occurring. So we're not going to do that, but we could speak at a staff meeting at, the beginning, end, or wherever is in a good space for that lens to be able to speak to that. So,
Yep.
Yeah, and that does remind me, Jared. I did see you putting things in mailboxes, and you didn't show me that form.
Okay, so I'm more than happy to go over that with you. This is also spoken about in the contract. So if you look in section 3.3, which is going to be on page 6 here. So under communication, we have the association shall have the right to use the employee mailboxes, staff lounges, and other designated staff areas agreed upon by the building principal or supervisor and the association building representative, and to post notices of activities and matters of association concern on the mutually agreed upon association space at each work site.
Well, you're right again, and it actually doesn't say that you have to show me anything, so I'm sorry for that. And I might need to change my last name by the time we meet.
Well, we can always offer you some supplementary training if you think that it's necessary.
Okay.
So you are able to do union work during the workday. You are able to utilize staff email to talk to all staff, not just members. You could email just members, or you could email all staff. You have the ability to make that decision. You do not have to go over your email prior. You don't need to get it approved. You don't need to get anything approved during mailboxes, and you don't need to sign a form when you're being the union representative during a meeting for a member that could possibly lead to disciplinary actions. There is a form for a silent witness. For a silent witness could still be utilized for an employee that's not in a bargaining unit. Okay. And so you don't have to sign that form. Your rights were negotiated in the contract, and that's all you have to do. So if you're asked to sign a form, if you are asked to clear your emails, through the administrator, if you're asked to show the forms that you're putting out prior to, even if you have a great relationship with your supervisor, we ask that you don't do that. We ask that you just follow the contract, because even though you might have a good relationship with your administrator, what the cause of that might mean that heartache on other members and other reps at other sites that maybe don't have that good of a relationship with their administrators. So we try to stay as clean as possible with our relationships, and that means as long as you stay with the contract, you're good to go. So it holds both the parties accountable. So we're just asking, even if you have a great relationship with your principal, if you have that great relationship with your principal will know and respect you just following the contract. Because at the end of the day, everybody, employees and administrators, just want the schools to run well and good for the students, right? We want buses on time. We want car riders to get home quickly and safely, and we want their employees to be able to go home quickly and safely. And so the best way to do this is just be able to follow the contract. So that's what we're going to do. So don't need to sign a form to be a union rep. You don't need pre-approval to put anything in mailboxes or send an email. You have the right to do that now. You also have the right to do union work during the day. So, where there is employee spaces, utilize that to move the message of the union, which could be about bargaining coming up. December 1st starts bargaining for wages. We have both of our teams coming up. This is a plug for maybe our next video. So we have a lot going on. Jared, where are we at?
We have about 30 seconds remaining.
All right. So I'm going to say farewell. Please help me thank the great and only, one and only, Jared and Katie.
And Kelly Kapowski.
Kelly Kapowski showed up.
Sporting PWEA swag.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little warm for a beanie, but okay. All right. Solidarity.